What's up, YouTube? Today we're reviewing the 2021 Ford Ranger Tremor. Huge thank you to Matt Newman over at Koons Sterling Ford for allowing me to do this review for you guys today. If you're interested in this particular Tremor or any Ford product, I'll have his information on screen as well as in the description box down below. But with that said, let's get into the video. First, let's talk about the exterior and performance. And like I mentioned, this is the Ranger Tremor. However, you can get the Ranger Tremor in two different trim levels. You can get it in the XLT or in the Lariat. This particular Ranger is the Lariat Tremor. So a couple things that you get with the Lariat Tremor right off the bat are these LED headlamps as well as these LED fog lamps. You also have LED taillights around back, but we'll get to that here in a minute. Let's talk about what you get with the Tremor package. So what you get with the Tremor package is this magnetic grille surround, followed by this black 2-bar grille here in the middle with these red accents on the right and left side of the front grille. I think it looks very good. You also have a magnetic painted front bumper, as well as 2 tow hooks down here, and you also get skid plates down here as well. You might be able to notice you have forward-facing sensors right here at the bottom of the front bumper. And moving over to here, magnetic painted arch molding as well as a magnetic painted trim piece around the Ranger Lariat badge right there. Moving down to here, you have a 32-inch General Grabber ATX tire that wraps around a 17-inch multi-spoke magnetic painted wheel. I think it looks very, very good and aggressive. You also have Fox dampers at all 4 corners that you might be able to see right there. Makes the ride just a whole lot better. Also with the Tremor package, you have these hoop side steps right here as well, and you might be able to notice, I don't know if the camera's gonna be able to pick it up, but they're painted in like bed liner, so it gives it a really rugged off-roady look. But getting in and out of the truck in tight spaces, you might rub your shin against it or rub your pants against it, so just be aware of that. You might want to keep these clean unless you want to get dirt on your jeans or whatever long pants you're wearing, but yeah, just something to keep in mind. Capless fuel door right there. Again, magnetic painted arch molding. You got your 32-inch General Grabber tires again. Right back here, you have your Fox remote reservoir right there, as well as your Fox shocks. And you also have a new multi-leaf rear spring configuration back here as well. Moving on, you have your Tremor Graphics right here, just to let everyone know that you have a Tremor. Again, LED tail lamps, LED backup light, as well as a LED turn signal, and this is your blind spot monitoring system right here. Like I mentioned when we were at the front, you have these magnetic painted rear bumpers, and this particular Tremor does have the trailer tow package, so you do lose your rear tow hooks back here. But if you get stuck and you somebody's got a strap, you can just connect the strap right here onto your trailer tow package, and I think you'll be just fine. But if you don't want this and you want your rear recovery hooks, you can not option the Tremor with the trailer tow package, and you have those 2 hooks back here. But that's just something I thought you might want to know if you don't tow too often. Here are your backup sensors as well as your backup camera right here. You got your Ranger embossed into the tailgate, your trailer lighting options right here, as well as you got this little key. So if you want to unlock your rear spare tire to lower it if you get a flat, you just take your key out of your key fob, put it in there, and that unlocks your rear spare tire, and you can bring it down. But closing that, let's open up the tailgate here real quick. You can lock it. It's a lockable tailgate. You can also lock it by the key fob in your pocket. As you can see right here, you do not have a spray-in bed liner. However, you can get spray-in bed liner as an option. So if you're using your bed, you are definitely going to want to get a spray-in bed liner. But you might be able to note this orange color. This particular color is called Cyber Orange, and it is a $595 color. Closing that and moving along. I'll show you guys the window sticker here on screen if you guys want to note all the standard features as well as the options on this particular Tremor. So I'll put that up on screen right here. But if you want to get the Tremor on the Ranger, you have to get the Super Crew 5-foot bed. You cannot get the Super Cab 6-foot bed. Just not an option. This is the only configuration that you can get the Tremor in, and that goes for the F-150 as well. It's basically the same thing. So you have to get the Super Crew 5-foot bed. Otherwise you're not going to be able to get the Tremor. But let me open up this door right here to pop the hood, and let's talk about performance. Opening up the hood reveals that 2.3 liter 4-cylinder that makes 270 horsepower and 310 pound-feet of torque. That goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission to all 4 wheels. But this is not an all-wheel drive vehicle. This is a 4-wheel drive vehicle. However, if you have this vehicle in 2-wheel drive, it's able to push this truck from 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. With that in mind, you're also able to achieve 19 miles per gallon city and 19 miles per gallon highway. And when equipped with the trailer tow package, this motor is able to pull 7,500 pounds. So this truck has a 7,500 pound max tow capacity when equipped with the trailer tow pack. It also has a 1,430 payload capacity, which is down 430 pounds for the Tremor. So if you get the Tremor, you are losing 430 pounds of that max payload capacity. But if you don't put stuff in the bed too often, it's not really a big deal. But I wanted to say thank you guys for helping me hit 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate it. To all you guys who have subscribed, thank you so much. We have a lot more coming. My next big goal is 10,000 subscribers. So if you guys want to be one of those 10,000 subscribers and you guys are enjoying today's video, please hit that subscribe button. Please give this video a big thumbs up. I'm really gunning now for 10,000 subscribers. But yeah, if you guys are one of my first 1,000 subscribers, I really appreciate it. But yeah, we got a long way to go, and after we hit 10,000 subscribers, we're going to 100,000. But one quick thing before we move into the interior, because I don't think I mentioned this, the Tremor package gives 0.8 inches more clearance to the Ranger over the FX4 for a total of 9.7 inches of ground clearance. So that's something, if you guys are interested in off-roading and you need a little bit more than the FX4 package, you might want to look into the Ranger, because you, like I said, you have 9.7 inches of ground clearance, which is also 0.8 inches more ground clearance than the Colorado ZR2. But with that said, let's move into the interior. This Ranger Lariat has keyless access, so all you got to do is have your key fob in your pocket, put your hand behind here, which unlocks the vehicle, and pull open the door. And that reveals your black door panel right here. You have a little bit of leather material right here, as well as some leather material right here with some contrast stitching. The rest of the door panel is plastic. However, I don't think that's a big deal. Automatic up and down front driver window. However, none of the other windows are up or down automatic. This locks your rear windows, so if you have 2 kids in the back and you don't want them opening up their rear window, all you got to do is push that button right there and they cannot open up their window. Moving over to right here, I got a little Dasani water bottle for size reference, so you can just put your Dasani water bottle right in there. And you got a little bit of more storage space right in here as well. So if you want to set like a tape measure or hand sanitizer, something like that, you got a little bit of room to do so. Obviously, not as much store space at the bottom of the door panel like you would have on like an F-150, but it's definitely got a good amount of usable storage space down in there as well. Your unlock and lock switch right there, and if to know your vehicle's locked, you got a little light on the lock switch right there. But let's click that unlock button. Take a look at this driver front seat. As you can see, Tremor embossed into the seat. I think it looks very good. You have your red contrast stitching, just like you have the red accents in the front grille. I think it looks very, very good. It kind of reminds me of the Raptor logo kind of right here, except the R doesn't go down as far as like a Raptor logo would. But this is a leather trimmed seat with your suede inserts right here and your contrast stitching right there. I think it looks very good, and it's a very premium looking seat. It's also a very, very comfortable looking seat. It is a power driver seat, however it is a manual recline function, so not a big deal. You can go up, down, forward, backward, and you got your lumbar support right here. But if you do want to recline your seat, you do have to do that manually. But stepping in, you got your 2 cup holders right here, so I'm going to put my water bottle right in there and push to start. Let's fire her up. Start that 2.3 liter 4-cylinder. You got your 2 productivity screens right here, and you got your off-road screen in there as well. Analog speedometer, as well as a digital RPM gauge right over there. Digital fuel gauge, as well as a digital coolant temperature right there. You got your odometer at the bottom left-hand corner of the screen on the left-hand side, as well as your ambient exterior temperature on the right-hand screen on the right-hand side, as well as your clock right down there as well. You also have a compass right over there, but if you want to change what's going on in the right side of the screen, you've got your entertainment, navigation, or phone. So that's what you can do on this side of the screen. Personally, I like to keep it on the compass. On the left-hand side, you can go through here and you got your different trip information, fuel economy, driver assist features, your settings, but let's keep it on the RPM gauge because, I don't know, I kind of like to see that when I'm driving down the road. These are power folding side view mirrors, so all you got to do is push this button right there and the side view mirrors fold in just like that. Push the button again and they fold out just like that. Like I mentioned, you do have your blind spot monitoring at the top left hand corner of this mirror and the top right hand corner of that mirror right over there. You got your 8-inch infotainment screen right here, followed by your 6 different auxiliary switches right there. So if you want to put a light bar or 6 different light bars, you've got that integrated right there. So all you got to do, wire up your light bar to that, and if you want to turn it on, flip that switch just like that. And it's very clean switches, so you don't have to put like an aftermarket switch panel. So I think that's pretty cool. Leather wrapped steering wheel. You've got your adaptive cruise control settings right here. This pad controls that side of the screen right there. This pad controls that side of the screen right over there. To skip or go back on a song, you got these switches right here. To mute the radio, you got to push that button right there and you can mute the radio. These are your volume features, and that is push to talk to the vehicle. Turn signal stalk, as well as your lane keep assist system. So if you want to have your lane keep assist system on, you just push this button right there. Lane keep assist is on. Keep it off because I don't really, not really a big fan of lane keep assist personally. And this is to control your windshield wipers. These are rain sensing windshield wipers. So this will sense if there is rain dropping onto the windshield, and if there is rain dropping on the windshield and you have this setting into auto, then the windshield wipers will turn on and off according to the intensity of the rain. So that's a nice feature that I like to have, and that is something that you do get with the Lariat. Right over here, this is to control your outer mirrors. You got this little dial kind of thing right here, so you can switch it to the left, switch it to the right, or keep it in the middle, so you don't control either one of these outside mirrors on accident. HVAC vent here, HVAC vent here, as well as an HVAC vent right over there. Right down here, you got your hill descent control, automatic stop start system. You got your electronic locking rear differential, which is what you do get with the Tremor. Trailer mode right there. This is to turn on or off your parking sensors, as well as to turn on or off your traction control. 2 12-volt outlets right here, followed by 2 USB-A ports right down there. And if you connect your phone through this wire right here, you do have wired Apple CarPlay as well as wired Android Auto. So you do not have wireless Apple CarPlay or wireless Android Auto, but that's not a big deal because you can just plug your phone in and you got your Apple CarPlay just like that. 8-inch screen right here, works great. This is a Sync 3 system. No complaints there, it's very responsive. I'm a big fan of the way that is. You got your gear shift lever right here. And to go into your different driving modes, you got 4 different driving modes. So you got normal, gravel, grass, and snow, mud/ruts, as well as sand. But we're going to keep it in normal. So all you got to do is push that little button right there. And to go into your 4-wheel drive settings, you can turn this little dial to the right. Click it to the right 1 time, that puts you in 4 high. Click it over 2 times, that puts you in 4 low, but you do have to shift into neutral in order to shift into 4 low, and it'll stop blinking once you shift it into neutral and it's ready to go. So now it's ready to go, it's in 4 low. Put it back into neutral, shift this lever over 2 times, put it back in 2 high. Now we're back into 2 high, put it into park. You got your emergency brake right here, so all you got to do is pull up on this lever. Your emergency brake is engaged. Pull it up again, push down, and now it's disengaged. Right over here, you got your cargo lighting. This is to turn on your fog lights, and this is to turn on your headlights, turn them on or off. Right now they're in automatic, and these 2 buttons right here are to adjust the brightness of what's going on in here, as well as the brightness of these little backlit buttons right here as well. Moving over to here, you got your volume knob as well as your tune knob right over there to go forward or backward on a song, as well as push the play or pause button. You got that right there. Climate control settings right down here. Like I said, this is your gear shift lever, so you can put it into sport mode and upshift or downshift, either if you want to play around like in sporty driving, or if you're pulling a trailer, you can downshift just like that too. Like I mentioned, you got your 2 cup holders right here, and then opening this up reveals just a little bit more storage space for whatever you want to put down here in your center console. It's about half of my forearm that fits down in there. And if you want to put this thing in here for size reference, just a little bit taller than like a Dasani water bottle right down in there. But there are a few things that I wanted to talk about that you get with the Tremor package that I haven't mentioned yet in this video. So you get a terrain management system as well as trail control. You also get an electronic locking rear differential as well as an off-road screen in the cluster, which I'll show you guys right here. This particular Ranger does have the 501A package. So what you get is the technology package. You get a Bang & Olufsen 10-speaker sound system, remote start, rain sensing wipers, adaptive cruise control, forward sensing system, as well as rear sensors in the rear as well. You get automatic emergency braking. You also have a blind spot monitoring system. You get automatic high beams, which are fantastic at night. If you never had them before, it's awesome. You don't have to turn the high beams on and off and on and off and on and off all by yourself. The truck takes care of that, and that's an awesome feature to have. I really do like that. You also get all-weather floor mats with the Tremor package. And the total MSRP of this particular truck is $47,615. And like I mentioned, I'll have the window sticker right here again on screen so you guys know just exactly what comes with this particular Tremor. And if you're comparing this particular Tremor to the Tremor that you are building, you can see exactly what you want, what you don't want, stuff like that. So like I said, I'll have that here on screen. But you also have a auto dimming rear view mirror as well as your universal garage door opener right up here. And opening this up reveals a sunglass holder right up here. So that's pretty awesome. You don't have to store your sunglasses in the cup holder or stuff like that. It's all integrated in the truck very nicely right up there. But closing that and opening this up, this particular Tremor does have lights for your mirror right here. The XLT Tremor did not. So you do get lights. So at night you don't have to turn on this light in order to see yourself. You got those two lights right there, which is awesome. But closing that, I just wanted to talk about seat comfortability. These front seats are so comfortable. I could definitely see myself doing a long road trip in this truck. Definitely no problem. I think Ford is at the top of the game in terms of seat comfort in comparison to the other two American brands. I really think Ford's got their seat game down, and when it comes to F-150, the Ranger, or really any Ford product, Lincoln, just some of the most comfortable seats really of any vehicle, but definitely out of the three major manufacturing brands in the United States. But that's just my personal opinion. If you guys disagree, leave a comment in the comment section down below and let me know who your favorite brand is when it comes to seat comfort. But let's talk about your glove box right here. It's a locking glove box, obviously. And you got a good amount of space in there for your owner's manual, napkins, straws if you do that. But yeah, stuff like that. Good amount of storage space in there. Closing that, let's bring us to the off-road screen in the center console right here. In order to get into your off-road screen, all you got to do is push this down arrow right here, and it brings you to your off-road screen. But I'll bring you guys a little bit closer so you guys can see exactly what's going on. You also have your digital speedometer, tire pressure information, your average speed. You got your fuel range right there, and this is your digital RPM gauge with just your fuel gauge right there. Go down one more and you got your fuel gauge and coolant temperature. But one more thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about in this Ranger right up here is that this particular Ranger does have heated front seats. You do not have heated rear seats. But yeah, I just wanted to add that before we moved into the rear. So we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, and we've talked about what's going on up here in these two front seats here. So yeah, let's move into the rear seats. Moving into these rear seats here. Got my sweater right there. Let's talk about connectivity here real quick. You got two USB-A ports followed by a 150 watt household outlet right down there. Closing that, you got a little bit of storage space right here to set gum, or you want to set your phone in there, you can do that. Two door pockets. What's interesting is that the last Ranger that I did, it was the Ranger XLT FX4. It only had one seat back pocket on the, I think it was the passenger side, or I think it was the driver's side. But this one does have two seat back pockets, just like that. Got a fold down armrest right here with two cup holders. This is about like a Dasani water bottle sized cup holder. So you're not gonna be able to fit one of those smart water bottles in there. But yeah, definitely nice to have a little armrest right here as well. It's also a very comfortable armrest, nice and padded right there. So definitely could see myself doing a little bit of a long road trip back here. But one thing that I did notice, and that's kind of funny, is that the Ranger XLT cloth seats were a little bit more padded than these seats back here, but these seats are still plenty comfortable. But yeah, that's just something I wanted to add, is that the cloth seats were a little bit more padded than these rear seats that are back here in the Ranger Tremor. But these seats are still very comfortable, like I said. I can extend my legs, but there's definitely not so much leg room or knee room back here, but I can definitely fit back here, no problem. But if you're like 6 foot tall, 6'2", I don't know how comfortable you'd be back here. I've got plenty of headroom, got a little bit of knee room left, and I'm adjusted behind myself. I'm 5'9", 145 pounds. So yeah, if you're a little bit taller than me, I'm not sure how comfortable you'd be, especially if you've got long legs. But yeah, moving over to here, you've got your lock and unlock switch. Again, more of that black chrome type material for your door handle right there. Like I said, you do not have an automatic up or down rear window, but you do have a little leather padding right here, more of that leather right here, and you got a nice little grab handle right there in order to, you know, hold on if you're going off-roading or something like that. But you also do have a grab handle up here, as well as a little hook if you want to hang a suit or something back here. But yeah, I'm gonna open up this door and show you guys what's going on in the door panel. Just like the front, you got a good amount of space for like a Deer Park water bottle or a Dasani water bottle right there, as well as a little bit more storage space down in there. So not the biggest, but it's definitely nice and deep down in there for some storage space. But let's fold this thing up, move that into the front. But I'm gonna fold these seats up here just like this, and to reveal just a little bit more storage space down in here. So if you want to set like a tape measure or something like that, there's a little bit more space right over here. And I'll put my water bottle in here again for size reference, so you guys can see it's horizontal. So a good amount of space in there, and a good amount of space in there as well. It's definitely more space on the passenger side of this vehicle. But let me grab that here real quick, throw that back into the front, and let me put these seats down. And like I said earlier, leather trim seats with those suede inserts right here, and that accent colored stitching looks very nice. Nice and premium. The suede feels very nice, and the leather is also very, very nice. But there's one thing I wanted to show you guys on this side of the vehicle here real quick. So if you guys have a flat tire and you need to jack the vehicle up, all you got to do is pull this little tab right here, and that pulls these seats down. And you can see you've got your jack as well as your fuel filler neck right there. So if you run out of gas, like I said, this is a capless fuel door. All you got to do is stick this down into that capless fuel door, and you're able to fill up like with a regular gas tank. So yeah, that makes it just a little bit easier. I like how that comes with the vehicle. And yeah, that is where your jack goes, and that is, I believe, for your Bang & Olufsen sound system right there. But don't hold me to that. But I'm pretty sure that's what that is. Manual sliding rear window right here, so all you got to do is pop that open just like that, and you can manually slide it just like that. But yeah, put those seats right back up. But yeah, we've talked about the exterior, we've talked about the performance, now we've talked about the interior. So let's see how this thing drives. So I will see you guys in the driver's seat. And now onto the driving portion of the review, and I've really enjoyed my time behind the wheel of this Lariat Tremor Ranger. I think the Lariat Tremor package, in collaboration with each other, really just add to the overall driving experience of this truck. It makes it ride just a lot smoother. Like when you go over bumps and stuff, it really doesn't jolt you around that bad, really at all. I think it rides a whole lot smoother than, I did a video with the Ranger XLT FX4, and this thing just rides a whole lot better than that XLT. But you know, that thing didn't handle terribly, but you know, it's definitely noticeably smoother in this Ranger Tremor here. When you go over bumps and stuff, it really doesn't throw you around. It really absorbs the bumps really, really nicely. And I think that has a lot to do with those Fox dampeners at all four corners, along with that new multi-leaf rear suspension. But both of those things really just add to, again, the whole comfortability of this truck. I think it rides a whole lot better. It's a lot smoother. You know, the interior feel is a lot nicer, and that's pointing more to the Lariat part of the Ranger Tremor here. But I really like this leather wrapped steering wheel. The dash is nice and leather wrapped. That Bang & Olufsen 10-speaker sound system is so good. It's very clear. The bass is there. So like I said, just everything that comes together really transforms this truck, and it feels like a totally different truck than that XLT FX4. And you know, I'm not talking bad about that truck at all, but this thing just really feels a lot more premium, and it feels like this thing's just a whole lot nicer overall. And I think this thing's only like $4,000 or $5,000 more than that XLT FX4. So if you're looking at the XLT FX4 and you're comparing it to the Lariat Tremor, I would say go out and test drive both. Take a long look, how much you want to spend, what you're looking for in the vehicle. Like, hey, you know, I don't need leather. I don't need the leather with the micro suede inserts. I don't need the Tremor package with the nice Tremor embossed into the seat. I don't need that additional 0.8 inches of ground clearance. Then, okay, yeah, then you would get the XLT FX4. But you know, if you do go and you do a little bit of off-roading and you're looking at the ZR2 and you're looking at this and you're like, okay, well, which one do I want? And I haven't done a video with the Colorado ZR2, so I can't really base a comparison between like a ZR2 and this Ranger here. But in pictures that I've seen of the ZR2, I would say that this interior is definitely a little bit nicer than the ZR2. However, like I said, I haven't put my hands on a ZR2 yet, but I really like the two different screens that you have in your dash. You got your analog speedometer, like I said, but you have your digital RPM gauge. You've got your digital screen over here that goes through your navigation. It also has entertainment, and it also has your phone stuff. So your entertainment stuff like media, your phone stuff, as well as your compass and stuff would be on your right hand screen. And more of like the stuff that you would use, like trip information, fuel range, that kind of stuff, is more on your left hand screen. So if you're looking for more information between the two screens, the left hand screen is definitely the screen that gives you that more information. But like I said, I really like this vehicle. I like how you got your 6 different auxiliary switches. Like I said, if you want to wire up a light bar, it makes it a lot easier to wire up a light bar here on this Tremor than it would be to on like an XLT FX4, where you'd have to get an aftermarket switch panel for your different auxiliary switches for your light bar. But like I said, just this interior feel just feels a lot more luxurious than it did on the XLT. Obviously, we got the leather seats with the micro suede inserts. You have a push button start, so you got keyless access, which is really nice. You got remote start. You've got your rain sensing wipers. Like I mentioned when in talking about performance, you got 270 horsepower, 310 pound-feet of torque with a 7-second 0 to 60. And this motor is just really peppy. I'm actually very impressed with this 4-cylinder motor. A lot of 4-cylinders are really weak. They're pretty anemic, but this 4-cylinder, man, and no BS, like this 4-cylinder is actually really good. It's got a great amount of power. You know, the fuel economy, yes, it's not the greatest, but you know, it's not the worst either. You know, 19 miles per gallon city, 19 miles per gallon highway, not awful. I would have expected maybe to see the highway figure just to be a little bit higher, but 19 highway, you know, it's not a huge deal. I guess that really depends on where you're driving. So if you want 19 miles per gallon city, it's fantastic. If you do a lot of highway driving, 19 miles per gallon highway might not be, you know, the greatest, but you know, this is still a great truck. Like I mentioned, it really rides leaps and bounds almost better than the FX4 did. It's an overall, it's really nice riding truck. The motor's not too loud, so I really like that. Like I said, it's got a great amount of power. I really am not normally a fan of orange colors, but the cyber orange on this Ranger, this Ranger can really pull it off. In collaboration with the blacked out grille, with the magnetic painted front bumper, as well as the magnetic painted rear bumper, the magnetic painted arch moldings, it really comes together really nicely. And you would expect maybe that the Tremor red accents on the grille would clash with the cyber orange, but it really doesn't. They really complement each other very nicely. So I'm definitely a big fan of this Tremor package here. So if you guys are looking for a Ranger to do a little bit of off-roading with, but you're also doing a little bit of daily driving with as well, definitely take a look at this Lariat Tremor. You can also get the XLT Tremor, but if you guys want all like the bells and whistles that you can get on one of these Rangers, definitely you're gonna want to get the Lariat Tremor. But yeah, like I said, it's just a very nice feeling interior. You've got your heated seats, you've got your Apple CarPlay, You got your Android Auto. It's just a really, really nice vehicle. I'm definitely a huge fan of this, and it just feels like I said, a totally different vehicle than the XLT FX4. So if you've test driven an XLT FX4 and you weren't 100% sold on it, definitely go out and test drive a Ranger Tremor. I think if you weren't totally 100% sold on the XLT FX4, I think you'll really be 100% sold on this. And I compared the XLT FX4 to a Honda Ridgeline ride-wise in my last video, saying that the Ridgeline rides just a lot better than that truck did. This thing fixes a lot of what I was talking about with the ride in the XLT FX4. This thing just rides a whole lot better than that truck did, in my personal opinion. Maybe some people might disagree, but I also think that this thing looks really, really good with those 32-inch tires, these wheels. And like I said, I think everything just comes together and it really makes this truck look really, really good. But I want to do an acceleration video before this video ends, so here we go. Here's going to be a nice 0 to 60 in 3, 2, 1, go. Really good acceleration out of that 4-cylinder. Like I said, I'm very impressed with the power behind that 4-cylinder. It's very impressive. So if you guys are worried about driving a 4-cylinder, you're like, I don't know if it's going to be enough power. I'm not really a fan of 4-cylinders. They're kind of obnoxious sounding. That is absolutely not the case with this 4-cylinder. It doesn't sound obnoxious. It actually's got a decent sound to it. It doesn't sound great, but it's not obnoxious sounding. And that power is very impressive. And that 0 to 60 time is very impressive. And like I said, thank you guys so much for 1,000 subscribers. I really appreciate each and every one of you guys who have subscribed. And we're just getting started. After we just hit this 1,000 subscriber milestone, we're going to 10,000 subscribers. And after this 10,000 subscriber milestone, we're going to 100,000 subscribers. But with that said, please hit that subscribe button. Please hit that like button. Help me get to 10,000 subscribers. But with that said, I'll see you guys in the next review. Peace.